Shimon Acupoint. The Shimon Acupoint is the fourth acupoint located on the pericardium meridian. Abbreviation PC4. Location of the Shimon Acupoint. The Shimon Acupoint is located on the inside of the forearm, between the tendons of the palmaris longus and the tendons of the flexor carpi radialis muscles, and 5 CUNs from the wrist joint. How to get the Shimon Acupoint. Although the method of getting the Shimon Acupoint is simple, it is also easy to make mistakes due to the incorrect determination of CUN in many people. Therefore, I invite you to pay close attention to watch me practice and practice with me. This is my right forearm. I will take the Shimon Acupoint on this right forearm. The same goes for taking the Shimon Acupoint on the left forearm. First of all, we need to determine that the Shimon Acupoint is located in the gap between two very large tendons, between the tendons of the palmaris longus and the tendons of the flexor carpi radialis muscles. This is the tendons of the palmaris longus. These are the tendons of the flexor carpi radialis muscles. And the Shimon Acupoint is located in this slot. On the other hand, this is the horizontal line of the wrist, corresponding to the wrist joint. From this horizontal line we will use it as a landmark to measure 5 CUNs above for the position of the Shimon Acupoint. Now what we have to do is determine a length of 5 CUNs. Normally, taking the CUN distance along the width of the fingers is very convenient and has few errors. But in any case, once you have some experience, you also need to flexibly combine the different methods to obtain the most precise location. In this case, with careful attention you will understand what I mean. Now, I will practice getting the Shimon Acupoint in 3 different ways, but all based on common ways of determining CUN. Method 1. I use the width of my thumb as the unit 1 CUN. Thus I have 1 CUNs, 2 CUNs, 3 CUNs, 4 CUNs, and 5 CUNs. This is a distance of 5 CUNs from the wrist joint. I marked this as number 1. So if we follow this method, this is the position of the Shimon Acupoint. Let's leave this matter here for now. Method 2. I combine my thumb with other fingers. This is 3 CUNs with the fingers closed together like this. So this is 3 CUNs. Then, 4 CUNs and 5 CUNs. So, if I follow this second method, I will determine the position of the Shimon Acupoint at this place. Here, I marked it here as number 2. So these two results are already very different. Come on, let's leave it here for now. Now, method 3. Method 3 is based on the convention of length and CUN of each part of the body. Specifically, if calculated on this forearm, the distance from the wrist line to the elbow line if the forearm is straightened like this will be equivalent to 12 CUNs. So it's not difficult to find 5 CUNs using this calculation, right? You can practice by using a ruler, measuring and easily calculating how many centimeters the length of each CUN is, And how many centimeters is 5 CUNs? For example, in my case, this distance is 12 CUNs, which is equivalent to about 26 centimeters. So I easily calculated that my 5 CUNs would be equivalent to about 10.8 centimeters, and I took approximately 11 centimeters. So, I measure 11 centimeters from the horizontal line of the wrist. Following the gap between these two tendons, I will find the Shimon acupoint. Here, the line across the wrist. Gap between the tendons of the palmaris longus and the tendons of the flexor carpi radialis muscles. And, here, is my distance of 11 centimeters or 5 CUNs. It is the position of the Shimon acupoint. So if I follow method 3, I have found the Shimon acupoint is here. I tick here, number 3. So, please observe, with the above 3 methods, all of which may be common but different, we have obtained 3 completely different results. Thus, the impact on acupuncture points based on these different methods of determination will obviously give different results, of which only one is correct. The remaining 2 must be false. Which one do you choose? As for me, I choose method 3. This is the most standard method that you should also apply. The remaining 2 methods are still applicable, but only on the condition that you must first estimate the proportions and find them suitable, then use your fingers, and just for speed and convenience. In any case, if there is any doubt as to whether the fingers and hands are too large or too small, or whether the person's height is too large or too small and not close to the average ratio, this can lead to having a non-exact CUN unit if based on fingers, as I just demonstrated above. When you are not familiar with it, you can use a string or ruler to divide this forearm length into 12 equal parts, or 12 CUNs. Once you get used to it, you'll be able to do it faster with just your eyes. For example, this is 12 CUNs. And if you count from the wrist length line, then this is 6 CUNs. This is 2 CUNs, the location of the Ni-Quan acupuncture point, PC6. This is 3 CUNs, the location of the Jianzhi acupuncture point, PC5. And this is 5 CUNs, the location of the Shimon acupoint, PC4. The Shimon acupoint. The Shimon acupoint, PC4. According to Oriental medicine, the Shimon acupoint has the effect of invigorates blood, dispels stasis, cools blood, stops bleeding, calms the spirit, and moderates acute condition. The Shimon acupoint is often prescribed to treat conditions such as cardiac pain, palpitation, chest pain, epistaxis, hematemesis, hemoptysis, epilepsy, and furuncle, etc. Interesting and important details related to the Shimon acupoint are regularly updated in Bikudo's various channels and websites. Please refer to them for more information. Wish you health. Thank you, goodbye, and see you again.